I've spoken to colleges in the past, and I'm also a business student of university academia. But my background, just to give you a little bit of history on my path, is that I did go to college. I changed my major 7 times. I studied abroad in Spain. I quit halfway through and just went around Spain, Europe with my backpack and just explored the culture and explored Italy and France, and I decided I think that my school is the earth, and traveling is one of the best schoolings and educational opportunities that one can embark upon. And so we really expand ourselves when we step outside of our comfort zone and we go out into the unknown. And whether it's through travel or through business ventures or partnerships or whatever we decide to do that takes us to our edge of fear, breaking beyond whatever fears that we have, we can experience a greater understanding of ourselves and the culture around us when we do that. So travel has been a huge part of my life. Just to give you a little background about my life, because recently I was asked to write a movie script, it's called a treatment in Hollywood, about my life story. I had a really challenging childhood. My parents both had substance abuse issues. My mother was schizophrenic. So I grew up in the foster care system, and I feel really grateful and blessed that I came out on the other side actually very productive, because I know a lot of people that go through that system actually take it upon themselves to become victimized. Victimization mindset is what we call it in the psychology realm. And basically, that's part of what has led me to what I feel is my life purpose. And through the businesses that I've developed, I work with people to help break through some of that inner child trauma and physical traumas and different things that can ensue from various tragedies or challenges that one might face throughout their life. So I would like to see a raise of hands. Anybody here heard of yoga? Has anybody here practiced yoga? Okay, who's heard of it? And then has anybody here practiced it before at least one time? That's so cool. So probably 99% of people in here have practiced yoga, and that is awesome. And I'm really excited to see that. And you do see it at this higher level of consciousness that you see in the university setting, that more and more people have tried it and are moving in the direction of understanding the power of the ancient science of yoga. And that has been the basis and the foundation of my entire, what I consider business life, but it's also who I am and what I stand for in the world, and everything that I align with is not so much in yoga, but in the sense of this understanding of a higher consciousness, and that we are all one, and that we are all here to help each other in some way. And that is the greater picture of yoga, is that we are not separated by race, religion, class, or any of the other paradigms that used to keep us separate and keep certain cultures repressed. And so yoga opens it up to the world stage and says, we're all equal. And just like Martin Luther King used to say, I have a dream that we're all equal. And yoga is that, but it's the ancient philosophy that's been around since the beginning of time. And it's just now becoming really fashionable and trendy, and it's really good for me as far as timing-wise in the marketplace, because not only is it my passion, and not only has it helped to transform my own health, my own life, but now I'm able to utilize this powerful tool and system to help other people. I'll give you a little background on my physical health. I was in a car accident when I was 18 years old. I was riding my bicycle and I was hit by a car. It was going 45 miles per hour. And that impact, I didn't realize until a few years later, had caused the cervical spine in my neck to lose the curve. And then it was going straight, and it started curving the other way. And I didn't realize at the time, until I did a whole world of research, that a lot of people have this as a problem. Not always as the impact from a car accident. Could be a snowboarding accident. Could be just you fell out of a tree. It could be just something, you slept wrong. Whatever it is, sometimes these things happen to our skeletal system that cause us to experience pain, and you don't realize until you have the symptoms show up in your life in the form of pain, illness, sickness, or disease. And sometimes it's on the emotional level, not just physical, but you don't realize until something, we call it your body is talking to you, something happens and you have to stop whatever it is you're doing and look within and say, what is it that's causing, what is the root cause, the manifestation of this problem, whether it's in the relationships, in your career, in your mind, your body, your spirit, or on the emotional level. So this has been the foundation of the last 10 years, diving in and understanding and studying with masters from around the world and really embarking upon the journey that we all kind of come to when we say, what am I really here for? And what is the purpose of my life? And the beauty of it was, when I discovered yoga, I realized that path in itself is the inquiry into this. It's so much more than stretching your hamstrings, although that's the trendy kind of, sexy part of it. But there's this deeper, I think, more philosophically sexy aspect of yoga, which is, we get to discover what we're here for and what our greater purpose is, how we can serve humanity, Mother Earth, and also, at the same time, live an amazing life. Like, how do we manifest that balance? And so that's, in a nutshell, a little bit of what I teach and what I do. So I created this company. In the beginning, it was called Perfect 10 Lifestyle. And I've always been an entrepreneur, so I'm just going to kind of show you a little bit, and then Jim's going to talk for a few minutes about himself, and then we're going to talk about the business direction that we're going to go together. And is the PowerPoint ready now? Okay, cool.
You can start it whenever you want.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so I actually have this PowerPoint. This is the one that I present this to universities sometimes when I do this. So basically, typically when people ask me to speak, they're always interested in the multimedia technology that I utilize, because I'm a product of the 21st century. I feel very proud to say. I understand multimedia technology and the power that we have to take a message and impact millions of people all over the world with coming from nothing, coming from nobody. I don't have a family name. My parents, as I explained, don't have anything to offer. My mother passed away. So really, you can come from absolutely nowhere, just like Slumdog Millionaire kind of thing, and you can create what you call a brand. And you guys know, because business-minded people understand, the brand is nothing other than the essence of what you represent being communicated in a way that the audience or the marketplace can understand that, and then those who identify with what you represent will align with you and become very loyal, because they have those inherent characteristics within themselves. So that's the key to success in the world these days. No matter what you do, if you're an attorney or if you're even a celebrity, whatever it is that you do, you have to somehow project and express what it is that you most find valuable and important about the entire world, and then people will magnetize to those same value systems, right? So mine specifically, and why Jim and I are aligning, is because we have a very similar alignment with what we call the eco-conscious movement, right? So meaning we are very interested in helping the earth and helping the progression of conscious evolution of humanity. And in whichever way those can align, then that's even more of a beautiful relationship. Because if you can help people and you can help the earth, and in doing so we can feel fulfilled and fulfill our purpose, then everybody wins. And that's the type of relationship that I'm interested in, and that's also the type of businesses that I align with, and those only. So in the marketplace, it's actually, there's a whole market segment that they've named LOHAS. Are you guys familiar with LOHAS? Do you guys know that word? Yes? Okay, so what does it mean? Who over here said they knew what it was? What do you want to say? Go ahead. You remember?
Wasn't it lifestyle, health and sustainability?
Absolutely, and it's a perfect topic for this class. So LOHAS, from my research and understanding, it makes up about 20% of the consumer marketplace. But it's the most fascinating marketplace because it doesn't have the traditional qualities that one might determine who's in this segment. It's not determined by class, race, religion, income level even. People of very low income and very high income are both within this class, and this is very unusual. Usually you can market to an income bracket, and that would determine, like if you're Lexus, you're not going to probably market yourself in, the ghetto kind of thing. So you kind of understand how you can project the marketing campaigns, but this one is totally different. LOHAS determines who they market to based on the consciousness behind the effort, behind the product or service. So if it has the benefit of the greater good in mind through some charity or through some sustainability practices, then it's going to appeal to this marketplace, and they're willing to pay even more just to align with that better worldview, right? So that's the market segment that I service, and through the school that I created, which is a yoga school, but it's a little bit more, and I give you a little bit of my background already, so I'm just going to move through this, and I'm going to just going to touch a few of the most interesting points. So I created this school that, you know, me being a travel-loving adventure seeker, I couldn't just create any old school. It had to be a travel school. So instead of having my school in America, my first school was in Bali, Indonesia. Because I was like, I want to create something that nobody else is doing, and I want to create the type of lifestyle that would magnetize the type of people that I am, so I get to hang around the coolest people on earth and the coolest places on earth and do the best awesome stuff ever. So that was my initial business vision, right? So any entrepreneurial visionary, I said, okay, how do I take this vision and then create it into something that's real, that's in demand, and that, you know, is actually going to create an income, you know. So it's been a progression. My company started local. I started with one-on-one clients and also working with corporations. I worked with the Coral Springs Medical Center and different things like that. And then it just built and built and built until I started doing retreats around the world. I started going to Mexico and Costa Rica and doing retreats kind of in our local kind of region. And then one day I went to Europe. I did a retreat in Ibiza. And then one day I was like, I'm just going to do it. Bali. Boom. And so I had never been to Bali. I had no idea what I was getting into. And I was like, I don't know who I'm going to get to fly around the other side of the world, but it's going to work. So I just put it out there. And this was actually last year was my first year doing the Bali trip. And then on top of all that, I had never done a 30-day retreat before. You know, most people do a week. Sometimes they do 5 days. But I was like, I'm going to do a 30-day training retreat program. And the reason I decided to do this was because a few years earlier I had created a program called the 30-Day Yoga Challenge. Has anybody in here ever heard of that? You guys have heard of yoga, right? So, you have? You might have seen it on YouTube.
Bikram 30
Okay, Bikram has one, yep. Yeah, Bikram is what I would consider somewhat of a competitor in the industry for me, but he has a completely different style. But he's one of the other people that does have this 30-day yoga challenge. So that was the second one in the marketplace to start doing these 30-day yoga challenges. Mine is a little bit different because mine started through video, and it started on YouTube. And I started a few years ago putting out YouTube videos, and the power of YouTube has really transformed my life. Because I went from, and I apologize, I closed this. I went from, you know, being local, and then, oh, that's not mine. And from there, I was able to reach a global market in a very short period of time because of YouTube. So I'll just show you guys my YouTube channel, and if you want, you can actually go on there later or some other time and you can check it out, because that was actually where I began. And it was really powerful because I hadn't really, I mean, I knew the power of it, but I didn't, I could never have imagined where it would have taken me back then.
It's not active link yet.
Here's my
There we go.
YouTube. I don't know how to do that PowerPoint. I'm technologically savvy in some ways totally not. Anyways, this is my YouTube, right? And, you know, these days it's just, I haven't been doing as much with YouTube because I'm starting to develop a TV show. But, you know, basically, you can see I have 7.3 million views and 33,000 subscribers. And it's kind of, I haven't really put out that many videos lately because I realize there's a bigger market for what I have, and it's on the TV. So I'm actually working with a team from National Geographic right now, and I'm putting together this TV show, which I actually brought the treatment for you guys to show you. And I'll just pull it up for a brief moment, just to kind of give you an idea of the direction I'm going. Because this TV show is actually centered around the program that I do in Bali. So basically, people come from around the world, and they live with me for 30 days, and in this gorgeous exotic places in Bali, and we do these retreat in 2 different resorts. So the first 2 weeks we're in this place in the center of Bali, which is where they filmed Eat, Pray, Love. Have you guys seen that movie? Do you guys remember, with Julia Roberts? The very, very popular book and movie. Anyway, so it's this concept that everybody wants, which is to get out of their box, get out of their life, and go to an exotic place and just forget about everything for a while and focus inward. And so I decided I'm going to create this for people. So people, right now I'm going in June, I have 20 people coming with me. And we live together for a month, and we practice yoga all day, and we practice a lot of different things. There's a whole curriculum. We do Thai yoga, massage, meditation. They follow a very specific diet plan that I created that has a cleansing, a lot of herbs, a lot of nutrient density, a lot of raw foods. We do eat some fish and eggs and stuff, so it's not completely vegan, but it's definitely on the yogic side of health. And so the intention is that we let go of all the things that might be blocking you, and we, through a system and a structured support system that I create with these people, they are able to go through this amazing transformation in a period of 30 days. So last year when I led this program, I have some videos that I could show you, but basically the stories that were erupting from these people's souls basically through this process I captured on camera, and they were very open about it, what they were going through, releasing grief and trauma or physical pain, or overcoming all these different mental blocks, and for the first time in their life being able to meditate and be silent in their mind, or whatever it was. Everyone's having their own type of breakthrough. So I came up with this idea. The show is called The Biggest Breakthrough. It combines have you guys heard of the show The Biggest Loser? Yeah, so it combines like The Biggest Loser with this other show which Anthony Robbins had created, which is called Breakthrough. So his show focused on how do you get someone to transform their consciousness through his practices, and then The Biggest Loser focuses on the physical. So I combined the two and then kind of interwove it with this yoga, lifestyle, holistic health program. And the reason that you can see this mansion on here is because I also lead a program in Miami Beach, Florida in a mansion. So we all live together kind of like the real world kind of style, but with this yoga program. And it's just like 20 people living together in a big house, and really awesome, same kind of concept. So we're creating a TV show around it, and basically I think we'll probably still be in Bali. It's a little bit more exotic than Miami Beach for the show, but I have on here that we could be in all these different locations. And with the National Geographic aspect of what I have in mind, we can also integrate the environmental consciousness into it as well. So going into a local geographic region and saying, this is what they're dealing with over here, and highlighting some of that, and also even the cultures, and we go visit the orphanage, and so we interweave some philanthropy and some charity work, so that people have a holistic experience and they really feel that they've been able to touch upon that culture as if they really lived there, because they were there for 30 days. So every week we go on an excursion.